Bring all participant and welcome for today's workshop. It's a special workshop. Let me share my screen for you. We have prepared a small presentation so that we brief you about the entire module as well as the agenda for the day and for tomorrow. Welcome for the workshop. It's a presentation, discussion, and lot of learning. Let us learn, let us understand, let us begin. Maxteam University is a recognized service provider via into online education. Meaning of the university, Maxteam University is M stands for Management, Commerce, Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, and we are the online service provider. Welcome for today's workshop, how to develop self-confidence and influence people by public speaking. This is the schedule for day one. It will start with Dr. Sri Ranjini. Then we have Dr. Raghavan sir. Welcome. Dr. T. Vijay Chitra and Professor Karthikeyan Sundarajan. For today and for tomorrow, we are having Dr. Anjum, Dr. R. Rekha, Professor Mangesh Mohan, and Professor Kanchan Pulmali. So let us begin. It's time to start to learn. I think we start with Raghavan sir, because after some time Sri Ranjani will join maybe in a couple of minutes so that we can start. Over to you, sir.
First and foremost, happy Vijay Divas and a happy evening to one and all. And my special thanks to Dr. Kumar Dutt sir for giving me this opportunity. And see, this is where actually the topic what is being selected, or the topic what we are going to discuss, is how to keep confidence by preparation. So here I will take with a few of the life skills and a few of the examples. The first thing which I wanted to express here is we are in that particular scenario today. We are ready for the most unfortunate things, and we are fortunate enough to face those things, whether it is good, bad, or ugly. There are many occasions, so many googlies will happen. There are many occasions, the unexpected things will happen. So there are many occasions wherein we are not ready, but still we are ready to accept it, or we are ready to absorb it, or we are ready to take it up. So I'm start with the beautiful example with respect to the cricket. Again, I'm coming back into like a little bit of my favorite topic with respect to the sports. Any given point of time before any match starts, the previous day or else on the same day before the match starts, 3 to 4 hours before, the entire team will have their net session. And what is that net session is? Net session is nothing but they all are the international players. They all are very good players, the topmost players. But still, here and there, a small mistakes will happen. And few of the strategies where they start working out during the net practice. That is nothing but to correct the measures which can be make it much more better. It is not that I am coming from bad to better or bad to good or something like that. We all are champions and we all are exclusive personalities. Still, there will be some mistakes, and how to overcome those mistakes is nothing but where we are getting ready. And when we are ready, we can always have the confidence inside. That is where we call it as an inner energy, or as the inner engineering which we talk. So there we will be having the confidence. Yes, I am ready to attack at any given point of time. So it is as simple like we are having the veteran Major Dr. Ashok sir also here. So this is how the year full of practice which will happen for almost all the defense people. And they are making ready with all the Fauji, with all the equipments, tools, practice, and these people. So this is where actually, which I wanted to stress more in one single point. If we are ready with all our proper homework, with all our readiness and the eagerness, then we can have that confidence internally, and that confidence will lead towards the courage which will be displayed on the face of individual. Here, I will just ask one simple question. I mean, it is only between the panel, whoever is here. We all know what is the agenda for today's meeting. We all know what is the motto that, or what is the outcome that we are looking for. We all know that why we are meeting for. Still, there will be a lot of exercises which will be done from the respective teams, and they will be keep sending those messages to each and everyone to know what is that which is mentioned on 16th of December, and what are the topics, and who is going to discuss each and everything. These are nothing but the homework, what we call. And these homework which always leads towards the confidence of carrying the entire program. We call many times the MCs, we call many times the anchors. So anchor, in one way, when I'm talking, in a literal meaning, anchor is nothing but stopping. But anchoring is a little different. So still, anchor will always stop in between the programs, and they bring some sort of the goodies, or they bring some sort of the value additions in the program or else in the function. So this is where that particular anchor will stand, whether it is he or she. So there is no gender bias here. So unless and until the people, or if we take a teacher, or if we take a professor, before entering into the class, he or she should be ready with on that particular day's plan, with on that particular day's subject, or with on that particular day's agenda. So if he or she is ready with those things, then he can be able to face the many students. Let us say in today's scenario, there will be closely around 40 to 50 students. So 40 to 50 students is equivalent to 80 to 100 eyes, or 80 to 100 cameras, which are actually he is going to face. And each camera will be looking at in a different perception. But the teacher or else the professor, whatever he is going to deliver, so those areas should be reachable to the each and every person inside that classroom. For that, he or she has to be ready in their subjects. So there is no need that we need to be expert. There are many occasions wherein I always say, this is something called as, where we call it as a feedback mechanism. So a person delivers a lecture of around 8 to 10 minutes. So after that, immediately if he goes towards the audience, or if he goes towards the students and asks for them, what is that you learned in the last 8 to 10 minutes? And that shows the deliverable or the deliveries of the individual, how the person is ready to accept. I mean, whether it is a student or whether it is an audience. So those people are really listening, or they are just hearing. So here it makes a little different when we ask for the feedback mechanism after the 8th or the 10th minute after the lecture. So after that, we will be start getting plenty of feedbacks from the listeners. And that is where actually it becomes an informal question and answers. And those informal question and answers will always keep both the parties, or else the entire room, into a proper discussion channel. So at that time, there are many things the individual also can learn, and even the students or the audience also can learn from many people. This is where the share, the knowledge sharing, where we say, or else just now Dr. Kumar Das sir was mentioning, there are a lot of learnings which is going to happen in today and tomorrow. Yes, that is where actually which is required in today's scenario. Today, many of us, or most of us, including me, I'm telling you, there is nothing like that I'm pointing out to someone else. There is nothing like that. including me, most of us, we always think, yes, we are the champions. Or most of us, we think that, yes, I know everything. Yes, I know everything, but still I have to know so many other things. This is where that particular gap where we need to fill it up. And that particular gap is always gives lots of boost, lots of energy for eagerness towards the learning attitude. And that learning attitude, as long as the individual is having, so at that time, there will be a lot of knowledge sharing which will happen. So in this particular point of time where we are talking about how to develop the self-confidence or how to develop how to get influence when we are talking with the public speaking. There are many occasions where I have seen, especially when we are talking about the public speaking. I used to see many of the politicians, they used to come with somewhere around 3 to 4 pages a written script, which is not even again not written from that individual, that will be written from someone else, and they will be coming and talking only on those scripts. Is that is the influence, or is that is the wrong sign? The reason is, if the individual is not aware with respect to the subject what he or she is talking, so at that time there is no value additions during that particular public speaking. So now coming on to what is public speaking, how to keep the confidence. Very simple thing. We always say today in today's scenario, we used to see quite a lot of, I mean, I always used to say this particular thing as an example in many of my sessions. Today, the younger generation or else the kids, they're having the ample opportunities because of there are plenty of reality shows across the country. I'm telling you, different have it may be in a different languages. There are different channels and the different medias. We need to see those uh, 4 years 5 years old kid standing in front of that stage. That itself will be having a lot of courage in them. So the first thing is they will carry the courage with them. Second thing, the confidence will be inner built. How many people are ready to stand? Yeah, fine, I'm ready to take and go and stand and hold the mic in my hand. But how many people hold the mic in a right way? And how many people will have the shivering when they are having the mic? When they are having the shivering, there are two things. Number one, because of the age factor, yes, it could be the shivering. That one I always agree. The other part is they don't know what to say. I've seen many of the, especially the, when we look at the Filmfare Awards or any other awards, I've seen many of the script writers. They come and stand on the stage, but they are unable to deliver two good lines on the stage. But if you ask them to write a script for an entire movie, they are ready to write the dialogues. So they are known only to work on the back end. But when they are asked to come in front end and to deliver something, they will become a most failures. So here they are not influencing anyone. Only thing is their words are making influence on from the back end to outside world. Like many of the dialogues of many of the movies, we can call those script writers to the stage, but they will be unable to deliver. But whereas when it comes into part of the teacher or the professor, it is not like that. He will be having his own subject, and his boundary or else is very limited. If some physics professor is talking, he will be talking only within that physics, or else within that any subject in that case. So this is where actually the subject knowledge, where the individual will be having it, and based on that subject knowledge as a center point, through that the person will be able to deliver. But when we are asking the same physics professor something related to the maths or something related to the chemistry, he will be having a very minimal knowledge in that. Or he will say, I will come back to you after some 1 or 2 days or something like that. That's a very ideal answer or the universal answer, which many of the teachers used to say when they are not able to answer immediately. So this is one part. So now when we are talking about the self-confidence, number one, what is it that I am going to deliver today? Especially when it is in the public speaking. when I started my the voice today, at that time it has so happened that I've started with the most unfortunate thing, and we are very much fortunate enough. But here I just wanted to say my session was after half an hour. Like probably, I mean, as per the schedule, my session was on the second, the slot. All of a sudden, there is a small twist that I've been putting onto the first slot. If I'm not ready, no, if I'm thinking that no, my slot is the second slot, I have to talk only at the second slot, not on the first slot. So at that time, if I'm not ready, then I cannot deliver it. So this is where the self-confidence is something that the individual should have it with him. Whereas the trust is not like that. Trust should be have on both the parties. That is with the two parties. Whereas the confidence should be with the individual. And this particular confidence or this particular speaking, that we need to impress someone. It is not that always the sales pitch what we do. It is not that always I will be start selling myself. It is not that always I will be selling some concept or some product or some sort of the theories. No, that is not the way of influencing. Influencing is how impact the words are, or how many words will impact to the listeners, or how many words will give the impressions. We always say when we are talking with respect to the HR perception, leave your footprints in the organization you represent. Similar way, whenever a public speaking happens, no need that we have to talk so many things, no need that we have to give too many gyan, no need that we have to talk about Bhagavad Gita, Bible or Quran, because that one been known to many of us. That has been known to many of us. But what has to be given at that point of time, how to increase the self-confidence, or how to make them the others into the public speaking. Public speaking is very simple. There is something like where we can able to say, see, now actually we are ending up with 2023. Few years back, somewhere around 10 or 15 years back, so I've been known for my talking or else my public speaking. So one of my business head said, "Hey Raghavan, we need to pack up very soon, so you have to conclude within the next 3 to 5 seconds." Because it was on the New Year Eve, wherein the entire office is planning to go for a New Year party. So what I need to say within that 3 to 5 seconds, I have to complete it. And I'm such a person, you give me the mic or you ask me to talk, I will be keep talking. And that becomes most of the time as a non-stop. So what I just said, Happy New Year to everyone. We will enjoy. That's it. So 3 to 5 seconds mein ho gaya. So those 3 to 5 seconds, and even today, even after some 12 to 15 years, most of my friends or most of my colleagues, whenever the New Year thing comes, they always remember that particular thing. If I would have given a one hour speech, then probably they would have forgotten. So this is where we need to impress, and how we impress or how we influence. Many of the time, we always talk about some authors. Many of the time, we talk about some personalities. Either it could be a movie or else it could be a sports. When I'm talking about sports, why I always take sports is every area or every profession, we always used to say this particular sentence, "Arey yaar, you have to take it sportively." You should have a sportsman spirit. Even if I'm studying MBBS or else a medical or else an MS or else an MD, still the person or the professor will come and say, if I'm going down, he will come and say, you have to take it sportively. Why sportively? Or what is that sports? Sports is very simple. S for study. P for physique or personality. O for observation. R for result. T for talent. The last S is nothing but today's topic, that is a self-confidence. If I am having the steady on my sports, whichever the thing, whether it is a steady, whether it is my academics, whether it is a non-academics, whether it is cultural, whether it is related to any other thing, I need to have a proper study of that. And to maintain that particular profession in a right way, I need to have a proper physique and the personality. To do that, I need to, what are all the homework I have to do? That becomes the observation. And if I'm having all these things, then the result will come automatically. What is the result? The result is not the winning the match or losing the match. That is the result. That is the result of the total match. But the result of the individual is different. Many a times we lose a match, but as an individual, we will be having a lot of laurels in that. Similarly, how those results will come, the individual should have the talent with him. And how those talents will be coming out, it is because of the self-confidence. This is why where the people say, "Arey yaar, please take it sportively. Sportsmanship should be there." So this is nothing but the sportsmanship with the any individual. This is my theory. There is nothing like, I mean, if someone else is having some other way of making it influence, I will really ready to learn those aspects as well. And it is make slightly a reverse order and making losses of self-confidence, because self-confidence is the base for all these aspects to create the physical or the personality. Self-confidence is very much required. And to observe and to absorb, to observe and to absorb, again I need to have that self-confidence with me. To have the talent inside, how the talent will come out? How the talent will come out? It is because the self-confidence is inside. How the self-confidence will come out? Because of I am studying on that particular topic, or else on that particular agenda, or else on that particular sports or event or whatever it is. See, even if it is a movie, what we are going to produce or bring a movie, believe me, minimum of around 2 to 3 weeks before, the hero, heroine, villain, and all the characters, they will have their dialogues ready. And they should do it by heart. When I say by heart, literally it is by heart. By heart, we need to learn those dialogues. If not, fine, do the dubbing, you do the remake, you do the mixing, voice mixing, and someone else is giving the voice. All these things are fine, but still the lip movements, we always want to see. And that is where the readiness, and those readiness will always increase the self-confidence. Those readiness will always influence the other people. Very frankly speaking, here I will take the beautiful example of Dr. Abdul Kalam. Dr. Abdul Kalam was having few of the discipline with him, and those disciplines has been followed today by many of the younger generation, and they learn many principles from him. They heard many principles from him, and that is the place where we call it as influencing others. Why I take Dr. Abdul Kalam? Because we all know Dr. Abdul Kalam. That is the reason. There are so many occasions in the family itself. My dad was having so many principles, good principles, like getting up early in the morning around 4:30 or something. So those are the some good habits wherein it has to be getting influenced from him. And being a typical orthodox person, I always, again, I just want to say, there is some few the rituals what we follow in the home, and are we following those things? If we start following as an elders, the same thing will be influenced by the next generation. Oh, my dad was doing like this, even I need to do. So why we need to do? Then we can sit and understand. So this is where we need to influence. So whether it is attitude, when we talk about attitude, again, I'll just take 2 or 3 minutes about this. So people say good attitude, bad attitude, so many things. There is nothing like that. Attitude is an attitude. That's all. Some people will be very much egoistic. Egoistic is little different from an attitude. And some people will have saying that, no, I am like this only and I want to be like this only. Fine, fantastic. There is no rule that you have to become like me, or there is no rule that I have to become like you. But what is that is going to influence? And what is that? Self-confidence. My dear friends, here I will just share a small line. You can always note, I mean, if at all, if you're noting, you can note down. There is something called as, where we always say confidence is one word. Behind that, individual works for that confidence. That becomes the self-confidence. Individual talks above his head as if that he knows everything. That becomes overconfidence. There is something which is above all these parameters, that is, put that over after the confidence, and then see it is beautiful. That is confidence over. So the life is all about overconfidence or confidence over. So it all depends on this particular cycle. So if I'm having overconfidence, then where I was going back to my previous words of those attitude, or the good attitude or bad attitude and those things, if it is a confidence over, yes, I'm confident enough and I can able to handle. I'm confident enough and I can ride the bike. I'm confident enough and I can drive the car. I'm confident enough I can able to take up this particular challenge. These are all confidence over, not overconfidence. Overconfidence, चलो यार मैं कुछ भी करूंगा, दिल दे देंगे, जान दे देंगे, अरे यार मेरे को पैसा चाहिए, दिल क्यों चाहिए मेरे को? So just I'm telling you few lines connecting to there. So through our self-confidence, we need to influence people. We need to influence the ecosystem. We need to influence our inner circle first. What is the inner circle? So for the first inner circle for any individual, it is a family. Go to any family, how many people they like Raghavan, how many people they dislike Raghavan, you can come to know. And on what particular purpose they like Raghavan. Many people, see, there is no rule that everyone has to like me. There are so many people where they do a lot of critics on me as well. Yes, even that is also, I need to have that attitude of accepting those things. That's where I always may mention, I mean, this is a message which runs very often. Always accept, don't expect. So expectations will lead to a lot of dissatisfactions. We will keep it aside. Acceptance, where all we need to accept it, fine, you accept it. Whether you want to change, you don't want to change, or you wanted to be the change, or you want to get change, all these things is the next step. First is accept it. Nobody will come and say off the face that you are looking ugly. They will say you have to change slightly the hairstyle, you have to leave the mush, you have to keep the French beard, you have to use this cream, you have to use that perfume, you have to use this one. Fine, yaar, theek hai. Karenge, usme kya hai? Next time we will see. One single word, next time we will see. Karna hai, nahi karna hai, it is all individual. So there is some influence for him. Many people look at few people, personalities, and they will say, looking at them, I always feel very divine with that person. I always feel very comfort with that person. I always feel the fatherly kind of a thing with that person, or the motherly kind of a thing with that person. Why we say all these things? Because that is the care, or that is the comfort what we give. And that comfort will always influence us. And that comfort will always influence to our self-confidence as well. When we are looking at those people, I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be with like our maths teacher. I wanted to be like with our sports coach. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be like her. So many things we will be start writing in our life. And why we do all these things? Because that is the influence what we have absorbed. And through that, we will, one day when I'm wearing, very frankly speaking, I was wearing a, the red color blazer one day. On that day, I know I'm not that tall like Amitabh Bachchan, but I was feeling that I was like Amitabh Bachchan. because in one of the movie he was wearing the red color blazer. And looking at that, I got it stitched also, and I wanted to wear. I am not that height, but still I was feeling that. Why? Especially when we look at many of these mimicry artists, they do the mimicry of many of the film stars and the other people, and they start immediately. The moment you listen to their voice, immediately we will connect to the respective personalities. We will forget about the mimicry artist, and that is the influence. Through this, again, I am coming back to the point: keep the self-confidence, influence at least one person, influence at least one person in the ecosystem, how to develop and how to continue. So through this, I'm just concluding, and I'm leaving it to the panel again for the next topics as well. Thanks a lot. Any questions and answers, please?
Thank you. Thank you. The session was really amazing. I was also learning from that. Today we have Professor Bharti Karshikar. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Next session is this person will be Dr. Sri Ranjani. Welcome, ma'am. Bharti, madam, over to you. Now you have to take the show ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. And as I said that Kumar Dutt sir is arranging very beautiful sessions, as everyone, all of us we know, and a lot of learning is taking place. The first lecture, or I would say the first session, has taken by Dr. Raghavan sir. It was really amazing and insightful. Though all of us were coming from the learning background, we still intend to forget, the points. Sometimes rightly he said that you go overconfidence. So the preparation is very important before you're going, appearing or doing your public speaking, and have the right attitude. That's the best lesson, or that's the best thing he has mentioned over here. I don't want to take much time over here. Thank you very much. I would like to say thank you, Dr. Raghavan sir, for giving such a wonderful session. And I would like to give this virtual clapping. So can we just clap virtually for him as a vote of appreciation? Our next session is going to be by Professor Dr. P. Rajput sir. And I don't want to take much of your time. I'm just going to make a virtual welcome to Professor Dr. Rajput. And over to you, Rajput sir. And I'm inviting you to the virtual podium to continue with your session. Over to you, Dr. Rajput.
Thank you so much. Once again, very, very good evening to everybody who has joined here. And thank you once again, Kumar Dutt sir, for making me always a part of you, where we keep on learning and adding the things. Very happy to listen the wonderful words of Dr. Raghavan sir, and the way Madam Bharti has invited and put the things. It was full of humbleness, humility, and compassion. So I personally feel that whatever we learn, it is less. What Dr. Raghavan said, that knowing is little and unknowing is an ocean. And we should be knowing it every time, which is important. But today we are talking on such a wonderful thing, which is the self-confidence and influencing the people through the public speaking, right? Because as a leader or as a communicator, Kumar Dutt sir, I have 2 minutes now, because before Madam will be coming, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all are the speaker, right? And what you are given the example, Dr. Raghavan, there are some of the politicians who come with 3-4 pages, but there are example of one person, our respected Prime Minister, who never comes with the pages. He comes with this. He comes with the brain, right? Which is very important. And that's what, Bharti ma'am, you are saying something. You are on mute.
No, like Dr. Raghavan sir was saying, that you need to do a lot of preparation.
Correct.
Because you should be aware of it. How am I going to influence my audience? And before that, I would like to ask something, that what kind of an audience we have today. That's very important. Understanding your audience.
Absolutely. Today means you mean to say where we are speaking, or today here the audience we are asking, Bharti ma'am?
No, when we are talking about the public speaking,
Fantastic.
that in that time, well, I should be aware that who is going to be my audience, whether they are
Correct.
students or professors, or where I'm going to speak, what kind of an event we are going to have. I was
So,
just talking.
absolutely right. Because first thing is knowing the audience, what type of the particular subject which we are speaking, that is very important. And how we are going a strong way with the authenticity which is required. Because today, in this particular, yes, sir, Raghavan sir, you want to say something?
Here I just wanted to add up with one of my experience. We called one of the Swamiji for a college function, who is running the personality development. So looking at the college students, even though he is a Swamiji, he started with a song, Dammare Dam, which was a Hindi movie song, Dammare Dam. So the entire students has fall into his control with that song. This has happened somewhere around 15 years back. I still remember. Okay, we called him, we invited him for one of this one. So where we are talking, I mean, just I wanted to connect. What is the audience, what we are there, and what they need is what he has given on that particular time. It was only just for 2-3 minutes. Later on, the entire thing has become pin drop silence.
So you said it, sir, because it is like embracing your audience, not connecting. And when you embrace somebody, you make the person as a part of your speech or the thing which you are talking about it. So that means the connection is very, very strong. That is one thing. Second thing you like to have, be authentic. Whatever we are talking it should not, because today through the Google, through the technology, everything is available, right? And anybody can search what you are talking about it. So it is information is available, and at the same time, knowledge is available. Now it has been converted to the wisdom. So when you are a speaker, you are going to share your wisdom experience to the other person, listening to the other person, which is again very, very important about it. So that is a part of engaging the audience, what the Swamiji did it, and then the people, they came along with it. Then another thing is use the body language, because your body speaks many things, because your aura, it is going to make a difference. So when you are authentic, when you are clear, when your body language is connecting like a magnet with all the people, you will have that confidence coming up. And for this, you have to have a practice, because without practice, you cannot make the things happen. And it is the basic requirement. And that's why you give an example of cricket people, right? Right. Everybody does the practice. Without practice, you cannot. Even the bodybuilder, they do the practice every day. So that is the basic thing which is very important. Then again, how you are going to interact. What is the flow of your speaking is there? It is the speaking fast, or it is too slow, or directly the modulation, the speech modulation, right? You have given example of film star. There's the right way of listening, that the modulation of that dialogue, it is directly going in the person's mind, which is there. That is again very, very important. Where to hit, where not to hit, right? And what has to be spoken slow, and what has to be spoken in a very, very high pitch. Then after that, again, maintaining the time, because we should always, like we have seen our Prime Minister, he always wear the watch and keep on seeing what the time is happening. So you cannot succeed the time, which is very, very important. Then at the same time, you should not be adding the words which are just like filler, like you see, you saw. It is not like that. That is not a part of good public speaking. So whenever we go speak, we learn from our people like that. It has to be inculcated, and there has to be the speech should be like a beautiful orchestra, right? Right. When you are listening to orchestra, you are enjoying it. The people should be flowing towards you. That's the floatment has to happen. And I'm very happy that Bharti ma'am is master, right? And I just saw it. So that's a great thing, because in the Toastmaster section, I'm also part of one of the group where they always teach us that how the word has to be chosen, not to be chosen, how it has to be there. So there's a lot to learn about it. So thank you so much once again, Kumar Dutt sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Bharti ma'am, for moderating this session, and thank you, Dr. Raghavan, for starting it in such a wonderful and beautiful way. Thank you. Blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you so. Okay, sorry, sir.
Yeah, no, sorry. Always welcome. We have Dr. Sri Ranjani with us.
Yes.
Session
I
will be
would like to just take 2 minutes or just a second to say thank you very much, Professor Rajput. That's so wonderful things. Body language and tonality is very important when we are doing or when we are thinking about public speaking. And thank you for bringing up this point, Dr. Rajput, because initially the connection is more important. In first 3 minutes, if you connected with your audience, then you have just got it. Thank you very much bringing up to this. Kudos to you. So our next guest, I would say, is going to be Dr. Sri Ranjini. I would like to invite them on a podium, on the virtual podium. And she's going to discuss about developing the courage and self-confidence. So over to you, Dr. Sri Ranjini. Would you like to come on a virtual platform? Over to you.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Am I visible? Audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Is my screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So a very good evening to one and all present here for the 2 days workshop on how to develop self-confidence and influence people by public speaking based on Dale Carnegie's book that is organized by Mexton University, US of A. Right. As we all know, Dr. Raghavan D. Belur sir already has spoken about chapter 2, self-confidence through preparation. And today I'll try to highlight a few important things from chapter 1, developing courage and self-confidence. Well, just to get into the background, we all know about the author of the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is one of the best sellers of all the time in nonfiction. And it has also brought the writer, Dale Carnegie, international popularity as well. And while discussing about this book, How to Develop Self-Confidence and Influence People by Public Speaking, the book writer, he discusses his experience in training over 5 lakh individuals in public speaking since 1912. So many participants in his book, they share a common desire to overcome self-consciousness as well as fear while speaking in public. And the narrative, it also includes specific areas such as Mr. D.W. Ghent, who initially struggled with public speaking, but after training, he became a confident and sought-after speaker. And the text also highlights that developing self-confidence and public speaking skills, it is achievable with practice as well as with dedication. And there are also many examples mentioned in the book of the well-known figures like William Jennings Bryan, Mark Twain. All these are provided to illustrate that even those renowned speakers, they faced initial challenges. And the author, he encourages readers to embrace nervousness as a natural part of public speaking. And he emphasizes in his book the importance of practice, perseverance, and also a genuine desire in becoming a proficient speaker. And in chapter 1, this prolific writer, he has discussed 4 elements, essential elements, to maximize your endeavors in becoming an effective public speaker. And let's try to discuss it one by one. At first, the author says, start with a strong and persistent desire. See, developing courage and self-confidence, often it begins with cultivating a strong and persistent desire. For what? For our personal growth as well as for positive change. So this desire in us, it serves as the foundation for the journey so that we can build assurance and even when facing complications. You might be asking me, why is this crucial? See, motivation, which is driven by a strong desire for personal growth, it serves as the potent force, right? It propels the individuals mainly to commit time and effort, so that they can build confidence and courage. Say, for instance, someone who is aspiring to be a confident public speaker, they can enroll themselves in courses, or they can practice consistently and actively seek opportunities where they can speak, right? All this will be fueled by their deep desire for improvement. And this clear and persistent desire, it provides us the focus. So it helps you to identify specific goals. Where am I heading towards? And this clarity empowers us, the individuals, so that we can create a proper roadmap and take the intentional steps towards reaching that destination. Say, for example, if an individual desires to boost his or her self-confidence, maybe in social settings or in social events, what they must be doing initially, they can try to initiate conversations or try to maintain eye contact with other persons, or even they can just start with actively listening to what others are trying to tell us. So this clarity, it guides their actions and also their choices in the social settings. Overcoming fear. See, developing courage often involves facing fears and then stepping out of your comfort zone. A strong desire, right? It helps you to confront as well as to defeat the fright of failure or the fear of rejection or any kind of unknown. I would like to say, when your wish is powerful enough, it will definitely override the dread that might be holding you back, right? This is the concept of overcoming fear. Then speaking about perseverance, especially in building self-confidence, it is sustained by a strong desire. So perseverance, it acts as a constant commitment reminder, and this will foster resilience amid any kind of setbacks. If a person, he or she is motivated to be a confident leader, right? What they'll do, they'll persist through the hurdles, and they'll be activated by an unwavering desire. Yes, I have to grow professionally. They have a desire for their professional growth. Then they try to actively seek feedback. They themselves learn from their mistakes. Yes, where did I fail? They try to constantly learn from that. And from this, they'll continuously enhance their leadership skills. And this particular strong desire, it also contributes to maintaining a positive mindset, right? And this will reinforce the belief that change is possible. And I, as an individual, I have the capacity to develop courage. I have the capacity to develop confidence. That's why positivity is essential for fostering flexibility. Say, for example, in the epic Ramayana, Lord Hanuman exemplifies the power of persistent desire and also a positive mindset. He'll be constantly facing many obstacles, right? Despite facing the formidable obstacle of crossing that vast ocean to reach Lanka, his belief in his extraordinary capabilities as well as that positive outlook, that helped him to overcome the daunting challenges also. Hope you all agree with my point. Then, speaking about personal responsibility, the beautiful example is Oprah Winfrey. See, her desire to build confidence and to pursue personal growth, it came from within, right? Taking responsibility for her journey, what she did was she tried to actively engage. She expressed her opinions. She shared her unique perspectives in the media industry. So Oprah's commitment to her own growth empowered her to take ownership of her own actions, her own choices, ultimately leading to her remarkable success as a media mogul, as well as influential personality. Adaptability. So a strong desire helps you to embrace change. In your journey to self-confidence, where you face new experiences and you are amongst all kinds of adversities, this particular desire, it becomes a motivator for learning as well as for adapting. Imagine a teacher who is eager to boost their confidence in using probably a new technology. So their strong desire, it drives them to adapt and learn. Gradually, they become more confident, right? Then they can employ the innovative teaching methods, tools, everything. So this adaptability, which is stimulated by a deep-seated desire, this showcases their ability to evolve, to enhance the learning experience. And we all are a part of it since we experienced the period of COVID-19 pandemic, isn't it? Yes. Now, Dale Carnegie, he also speaks about the second element, know thoroughly what you are going to talk about. Why is this particular step important? Knowledge boosts confidence. See, knowing your topic, what I'm going to speak about, inside and out, it instills a sense of confidence. When you are well versed in the subject matter, you are less likely to feel anxious or you are less likely to feel unsure during your conversations or during your presentations. So this confidence, it radiates to those even around you, right? And it makes your communication more and more impactful. Clear communication. See, thorough knowledge allows for clear and articulate communication. When you understand your topic, you can explain the concepts coherently, or even you can answer the questions confidently, and also we all can engage in meaningful discussions. That's why clarity in communication, it is a key, or it is a key component of projecting self-confidence. Then handling questions and challenges. See, whether in a professional setting or whether during a casual conversation, being well prepared, it will enable you to respond assertively to the inquiries. You can address the concerns and also navigate the unexpected twists in your discussions. Then, a deep understanding of your subject matter, it demonstrates competence. Then, others are more likely to trust and respect you, right? When they perceive you as knowledgeable. Say, for example, if there is an expert in a specific field who is invited to speak at a conference, he or she will demonstrate competence by sharing the intricate details and insights. Then the audience will perceive him or her as a credible source of information, right? And the expert's self-confidence is evident because as they navigate the complex discussions with much ease. Then, knowing your material reduces anxiety and nervousness. Hope you all agree with this point. When you are confident in your knowledge, you are less likely to worry about forgetting some key points or stumbling over your words at times. This doesn't take place. Then you can focus on delivering your message with poise and assurance, right? Say, for example, before a critical business presentation, if at all there is a sales professional, just say, he will familiarize himself or herself with the product features or with the market trends or maybe with the potential client concerns. So this thorough knowledge, it reduces the uneasiness. It will enable that particular presenter to focus on delivering a compelling pitch without any kind of constant worry. Yes, I might forget this. I might forget an important detail. I might forget a date. No, nothing like that. There will not be such kind of any constant worrying. Then, thorough knowledge enhances your credibility. Suppose there is a professor who is trying to deliver a lecture on historical event. How does he gain credibility? Maybe he will try to incorporate a deep understanding of primary sources and also the scholarly perspectives. Now, students are more likely to trust that particular professor's insights, right? The self-confidence, it is seen in their expertise. And it definitely enhances the overall learning experience, even for the professor as well as for the students. Preparation builds confidence. See, the process of acquiring and organizing information for your topic itself, it is a form of preparation. So this will build confidence, right? And we have a feeling, yes, I am ready from the content till the delivery style. How am I going to deliver? And it shows that we are well equipped to handle any kind of situation. That's why it tries to provide us a solid foundation for our self-assurance. Coming to the third element, act confident. How acting confidently builds courage or self-assurance? Behavioral feedback loop. See, acting confidently, it creates a feedback loop with our emotions and thoughts. When we behave confidently, initially we might feel, yes, I'm unsure. Our actions, what we do, it will send signals to our brains, and that reinforces a positive self-image. Over time, what will happen? This loop, it can lead to a genuine increase in our self-confidence. Say, for example, there is a student, UG, PG, anybody, who initially feels nervous about maybe participating in a class discussions. What he or she can do to improve their self-confidence, the student can decide to raise their hand and they can try to contribute regularly in the class. As they continue to act confidently, what they do, their increased participation, it reinforces a positive self-image. And this will definitely lead to a greater ease in their future discussions, right? Then, perception by others. Your actions shape how others perceive you. And projecting confidence can positively influence trust and respect from everybody, maybe your colleagues, maybe your friends, or any acquaintances. Say, for instance, there is a team member who is consistently taking on some kind of leadership roles at work. How do we perceive him or her as? As definitely as confident. Also, we consider him or her as a capable contributor. Am I right? Then, courage often emerges through action. See, by consciously choosing to act confidently in situations, especially which challenges us, we are trying to build a sense of courage. This might involve initially speaking up in a meeting or taking on some kind of leadership roles or confronting our fears in a controlled and in an intentional manner. Yes, I want to achieve this. I choose to act confidently in this particular situation. This makes me confident gradually. Then, acting confidently also allows you to expand your comfort zones. Say, for example, a person with a fear of public speaking, he or she will try to join a public speaking club. What they will do there, through regular participation and speaking engagements, they gradually enlarge their comfort zone. Eventually, they start feeling more at ease. They feel, yes, I'm more confident when they are trying to address a large set of audience. Yes, we discussed about positive mindset. Confident behavior is often reflected in our positive body language also. Standing tall or even maintaining eye contact and using assertive gestures, right? All these will contribute to the perception of confidence. See, these nonverbal cues, it not only influence how others perceive you, but also it impacts your internal sense of self-confidence. Speaking about assertiveness, see, acting confidently involves being assertive in your communication as well as in your actions. If there is a proactive employee, he or she will try to strongly express their interest, maybe in taking up challenging projects or trying to outline their skills, contributions, or they try to negotiate for additional responsibilities. Everywhere, they are trying to showcase their assertiveness. They're trying to build confidence in their professional abilities. Learning from experience is very, very important. Acting confidently provides opportunities for us to learn and grow. Even if you make mistakes or face difficulties, each experience will contribute to your development. As I told you, it also shapes how others perceive our capabilities. Say, for example, if there is a manager, his or her confident decision making, it will foster a positive view, maybe among their team. It reinforcing their self-image, and also it is boosting confidence in their leadership role. The last element, fourth one, the author speaks about is practice, practice, and practice. Why practice becomes essential in the journey toward developing courage or self-confidence, skill refinement. Yes, regular practice allows individuals to refine and enhance their skills. Whether it is public speaking or one-on-one communication, interpersonal communication, or any other skill related to confidence, repeated practice, it enables continuous improvement and also increased proficiency for sure. Repetition builds confidence. Yeah, the more you repeat a particular skill or a behavior, the more familiar and comfortable it becomes. So discipline creates a sense of mastery. It reduces anxiety and it will instill confidence in us. Through practice, individuals become more equipped to handle even dilemmas or any kind of uncertainties. Muscle memory for confidence. What is this? Just as athletes develop their muscle memory through repeated practice, individuals can also develop a kind of confidence memory. How? Maybe by consistently engaging in confident behaviors. And over time, these behaviors become more automatic and it contributes to a natural and genuine display of self-confidence, right? Fake it until you make it. Okay. For example, if a student is preparing for a series of exams, he or she will practice delivering the presentations in front of a mirror or tries to record them to review the same thing later. So by consistently practicing the delivery of their content, they develop a sense of confidence muscle memory. And that helps them to present with ease even during the actual exams or actual presentations. Exposure to different scenarios. Say, for example, someone is aiming to become a more confident public speaker. So he or she can practice delivering speeches on different topics in varied settings and also in front of diverse audiences. Now, this kind of exposure will help them to adapt to different scenarios and also build confidence in handling a range of speaking engagements, right? Building endurance. So developing courage and self-confidence, it is a gradual process and it requires endurance, it requires patience. For example, if we have a fitness instructor who initially feels very nervous about leading a large group classes, what he or she will do, they will consistently practice by teaching smaller sessions and gradually they try to increase their class sizes, isn't it? So this gradual progression, it builds mental as well as emotional endurance and it will allow them to confidently lead larger classes over time. Adapting to feedback. So practice provides opportunities even for receiving feedback from others. So constructive feedback helps individuals. They can identify what are the areas of improvement and definitely we all can make necessary adjustments. Learning to adapt based on feedback, it definitely contributes to continuous growth and increased self-confidence. And regular practice enhances the overall preparedness. Say, if an individual who is preparing for job interviews, what he will be doing? He or she will be practicing common interview questions and they try to conduct mock interviews, maybe with his or her friend or with a mentor. So this is an intentional practice and this will enhance their preparedness, right? It will allow them to approach real interviews, maybe with confidence, and they can even effectively communicate their skills and experiences. Yes. So to conclude, Dale Carnegie's timeless principles, they serve as a roadmap to developing courage as well as self-confidence. So as we celebrate these insights today and tomorrow, let us remember that the journey towards self-improvement is ongoing and every effort that is made, it contributes to a more confident and influential self. We all shall embrace the hardships, learn from experiences, and also continue to grow on the path of self-discovery, right? Yes, and I thank you for joining us on this journey to unlock the power of courage and self-confidence. So I extend my sincere thanks to all the participants and to my fellow co-speakers. It has been an honor to share this platform with such talented and knowledgeable individuals. Your insights will definitely add immense value to all our discussions. And also I thank today's moderator, Bharti Karshikar ma'am. Thank you. And also I thank the organizers of MEXTEM Eduversity, USOPA, for your thorough planning in ensuring a smooth and engaging experience for everyone who are involved here. And my special thanks to Dr. Kumardutt A. Ganjre sir for this opportunity. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you very much, Dr. Sri Ranjani. That was really an insightful session. And I must say that you have brought up such a wonderful points, such as positive mindset, adaptability, eye contact. It's really important in the public speaking. I'm sure all of you will agree to it. I would like to say here one quote, which I just said in my things. A positive attitude is a person's passport for a better tomorrow. So clear communication, thorough knowledge, confidence is a contagious thing that's been emphasized by Dr. Sri Ranjani. Once again, ma'am, thank you so much. And can we give her the virtual round of applause? I would request Dr. Sri Ranjani to remove your slide so we could allow the next speaker to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have the next speaker is going to be Dr. T. Vijaya. If just allow me to share your screen, just a second, please.
Otherwise, I will try from my side.
Yeah, because I need taking time for me to.
Hope screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. So I would like to invite Dr. T. Vijaya Chitra on the virtual platform. You're going to discuss about the improvement of memory. Over to you,
Yes,
Dr. Vijaya Chitra.
yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
ma'am. So good evening, one and all present on this online platform. First of all, I feel immense pleasure to thank Dr. Kumardutt sir for Best of EduTrex International and MaxSTEM University with Chapman for providing me this opportunity to act as a resource person, one of the resource person in this two-day national international workshop on how to develop self-confidence and influence people by public speaking. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you for ma'am also. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. T. Vijay Chitra, Assistant Professor from the Department of Commerce CA, NGM College, Pollachi, and I belong to Tamil Nadu. And the topic for me is the improvement of memory. Yes. Now, letting into the point, it has been said that an average man has only about 10% of the actual capacity of memory that is having the capacity to inherit whatever he is being grasped from his observation. It is also said that he is wasting about 90% of his memory by violating the natural laws of remembering whatever is being seen or observed by him. What is natural law of remembering? It is impression, repetition, and association. So by violating these laws, a person can observe and he has the capacity to remember only about 10% of the content. So what is mandatory of memory is to have a deep, vivid, and lasting impression. These things are possible and only with the concentration. So it is also being said that a 5 minute of vivid, energetic concentration will be providing greater results than days of mooning with mental has. So it is only the concentration that will help in increasing the memory power. It is also said that average person's brain does not observe 1,000th part of what the eye observes. So we will be moving to our office from our home every day, but we will not be noticing everything which is in and around that we are seeing. So say, for example, we'll be having a tree in the road we are crossing. So whenever we are asked whether you have seen such a tree in that place, we'll be blinking whether there is a tree, whether there are 2 or more trees, whether it is in the left or right side of the earth. So we'll not be having such a memory capacity because this is not because of poor memory, but it is of poor observation. Same thing happens in recalling the names. If we are being introduced with a stranger, we'll not be able to recall the names once if he's been introduced, but we'll be recalling by the observation of the eye, their face, their style, their appearance, everything, but we'll not be able to remember the name of the person. So this can be changed with the precise insight and repeat and spelled up whatever is being to be remembered. Everything is possible only with the concentration. So this is called as accurate impression. Then we'll have the example of Mr. Lincoln, who is reading the newspaper louder every time. So he says that this is helping him to increase his memory. So whatever he reads in the newspaper, he has 2 concepts in that he is seeing the things what he is seeing in the newspaper, and he is hearing to what is being seen in the newspaper. Whenever he reads it louder, he is able to have 2 things. He can see and he can hear to the information in the newspaper. So when he is being with these 2 concepts, he is able to increase his memory and keep the information in his mind in a better way. And moreover, the next thing is eye impressions. The eye impression sticks a better way. So as said earlier, you can remember the face of a particular person even if we are seeing after a long time, but we'll not be able to remember his name or her name, everything. So this is another thing. So you have to create better impressions. So if you want to remember such things, write the name or write the number or write what are the points you want to remember in a note, have a watch over it, close your eyes and visualize the points which you want to remember. So whenever you are having an eye visualization, you can remember that in a better way. So this is impressions. Let's have a note about Mark Twain, who has been speaking without his notes. So he gives an idea how to speak without any notes or content. That is, he says that you have to turn numbers into pictures. So you will be having number of points, point number 1, point number 2, point number 3. So you can turn these numbers into pictures. You can imagine in the picturized format. And he also says, picturize the points, what you want to tell. So this is the second thing. The third step is you have to combine the picture of numbers and the picture of the points, what you want to tell. So you will be pointing out one by one and you will be combining it with the points what you want to tell. So here goes an example, that is point number 1. So 1 has a rhyming word called run, one run. So run, whenever you remember run, you can remember or you can picturize a racehorse. So he quotes this example, racehorse. So, and he want to talk about Mr. Roosevelt and what he is doing. So this is the first point he want to share, and racehorse tells about the first point. So he picturizes the number, he picturizes the point. How he combines this is, he is picturizing in such a way that Roosevelt is sitting in his home, in his room, and he is sitting on the racehorse and reading something. So he picturizes the concept in such a way. So racehorse specifies the point number 1. So I have to talk the point number 1 about Roosevelt. So I can combine these two things and I can talk in a better way. So I can remember the first point in this way. So Roosevelt is the concept which I have to share as first. Then point number 2. 2 has a rhyming word zoo. So I can match this 2 with zoo, and I have to talk about Thomas Edison. So first I'm picturizing the number in the format of zoo, and again I'm picturizing Thomas Edison is looking on a cherry tree which is on the zoo, which is located in the zoo. So I'm combining these two picturizations. So first thing is zoo. It is about pointing out the second point. And I have to talk about Thomas Edison. That is the point which I have to include in second point. And Thomas Edison is, what I have to share about him is looking a cherry tree. So Thomas Edison is looking a cherry tree, which is located in the zoo. So I'm combining these two pictures. So zoo specifies 2, the second point. What I have to talk in the second point is about Thomas Edison. So this is a combination. Same way in the third, 3 specifies, or it has a rhyming word tree. 3 can be picturized as tree. So this picturization is about the number 3. And the third point, what I have to specify here is about Lincoln reading a newspaper aloud. So how I have to picturize this by combining Lincoln and the tree, or Lincoln is reading the newspaper aloud from the top of the tree. So here tree specifies, that is the third point what I have to talk, and Lincoln is reading the newspaper is the point which I have to share as the third point. So this combination helps in remembering the third point as Lincoln reading the newspaper aloud to his friend. So this is the point I have to share in the third. And again, fourth. Fourth has a rhyming word door, for door. So I'm picturizing my point as door, doorway. So here I want to share about Mark Twain. So he is standing in the doorway, licking his fingers and talking to his audience. So this is the thing which I have to picturize here. So these are the examples that is being given by Mark Twain, how to speak without having the notes with himself. So this seems to be very ridiculous, but remembering the number of points is very difficult. This method may be helpful for remembering these points at any point of time, even after years. Whenever I recall this, for example, 1 for run, 2 for zoo, 3 for tree, I can automatically match those things with the points what I have to specify. It will not be forgettable. Then some of the picture names that has been given by Mark is run, visualize a racehorse, zoo, bear cage in the zoo, tree, lying on the top of a tree, door, standing there and performing something, beehive for 5, sick for 6, heaven for 7, gate for 8, win for 9, and den for 10. So you can visualize these points and the point which you have to share. Combining together, you can frame sentences, you can keep it in your mind while delivering a speech. So this helps in giving a better delivery. Then the next thing is repetition. So memorizing endless number of times, repeating often. This helps in keeping the content in memory. So go through the content, what you want to remember. After go throughing, use it, apply it in your daily conversation. For example, if you want to use a new word in your speech, in your talk, you can converse that with your friend, with your family, and you can get practice with the word which you want to deliver in the speech. You can call the strangers by name often so that you will not be forgetting the stranger's name in the nearby days. So whatever you want to converse in your speech, you can communicate with your friends and family every time. You can share those points repeatedly. Whenever you're going to repeat those points again and again, you will get memorized and you can easily deliver the speech in the commonplace. So this is called intelligent repetition and well-established traits. So again, Mr. Lincoln is going to do the same thing. Whenever before he is going to the on-stage speech, he will be recalling his speech again and again. So that is called repetition. The next thing is Professor William James, who says about the secret of good memory with the help of association. So we have seen about impression, repetition, and now about association. So secret of a good memory is possible with the secret of forming diverse and multiple associations with every fact which you want to share. So again here, remembering a name is of a person, a strange person is going to be difficult, but associating him with his work or by his style or by his nature will help you to remember his name in a better way. So example that has been quoted here is Thomas Devary, and his association is he is working in a printing company. So the sentence that has been framed here is every man needs Devary's printing. So this helps in remembering that Thomas Devary's name, the stranger's name, associating with the work, what he's doing. He's printing, he's working in printing. So this helps to know his name as well as his printing work. The next thing is remembering dates. So you can connect the dates with the important dates that are firmly established in your mind already. For example, you can connect the date with Independence Day, Republic Day, birthdays, anniversaries, some special days, the occasions which you have in your mind, which is special for you. You can connect those days with these days and you can remember it. So here I quote my own example. India won the World Cup cricket in the year when I was born. So when I was born, that is the year 1983, in which India won the World Cup cricket. So I can easily remember this and I cannot forget this year. So whenever I've been questioned, I can easily remember this. The next thing is, India won the World Cup cricket again before 2 years of my daughter's birth. So again, I can remember this year 2011 so that it is easily correlating with my own special dates. So this helps in remembering the dates of the special events which I have to remember always. In the same way, you can remember the phone numbers also. So sheer mechanical repetition will always make your mind and memorize to get tiresome. So you always have to tie up with story, and this is how the memorizing is being done in a fraction of time. The next thing is remembering the point of talk. So this can be done one side on with the help of outside stimulus, that is by taking notes. So you can take the notes and you can recall what you want to talk. On the other hand, you have to associate with something already in the mind, and you have to arrange them in the logical order also. Like a door of one room opening or leading to another room. So you have to arrange in such a way, that is tying up your points. For example, I'm here quoting my own example. I have to specify or I have to share 5 points to the audience. One is relating to the dance show. The other thing is about the dinner. The next thing is about a temple and about a person named Arjun. And the last thing is about some hospital information. So these are the 5 points I have planned to share it to the audience. So now I am correlating this to remember how I have to point out this in which order. So I have framed the sentence here. I watched a dance show and had dinner in temple with Arjun and admitted in hospital. So there is no logical correlation in this sentence, but for my remembrance, I have framed this so that I can say the first point is I have to concentrate is about a dance show. Second thing is I have to share about dinner. Then third thing is I have to talk about some particular temple to the audience. And fourth thing is about a particular person named Arjun. And the fifth point which I have to recall is about a hospital. So to remember on my own, I have framed it as I watched a dance show and had dinner in temple with Arjun and admitted in hospital. So this seems to be more ridiculous, but it is always easy to recall. And the next thing is managing complete breakdown in speech. If in some situation, if a speaker suddenly faces blank-minded, what he or she has to speak has been forgotten, not able to recall what the next point is, then he needs a few seconds to recall. What will happen? The silence will prevail. The audience will be listening what next. The speaker will be very silent, recalling the next point. So here, the what can be done is take lead with the last point spoken. Take a lead of the last point, what you have spoken. So for example, in this, I have spoken about silence prevails. So this is my last point. After that, I have forgotten what I have to share. So I'm taking a lead here. This silence means, I'm asking audience, what does this silence means? Are you keenly observing? Are you eager about the concept? Or you want to know what happened? What is going to be the next point? Like that, I'm asking, I'm sharing such a point with them. So in the meanwhile, I have to recall the point, what should be followed exactly, the point which made me blank. So this was the concept relating to managing the complete breakdown of the speech. Sorry for the interruption. But if we do not apply these principles, then the memorizing of 10 million facts about baseball will not help us in the slightest in the memorizing fact about the stock market. Such unrelated data cannot be tied together. Our mind is essentially an associating machine. So thank you everyone for your patience in listening. Thank you all. And thank you for sharing the screen also.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. Vijaya. Can we give
Thank
her
you,
a big
ma'am.
round of applause first? She really explained to us very well that
Thank
how
you so
we
much.
can memorize ourselves, in our speeches. And I really believe that, whenever we are speaking or whenever we are on a stage, I think it's always better to show it with the fingers. If I want to talk about, that third day, I did one thing. So the people are looking at my fingers, my visualizations, what I'm saying. But that's a very good techniques you shared, Dr. Vijaya, that how we can
Thank you.
increase our memory. Thank you so much for that sharing.
Thank you
Okay,
so much, ma'am.
let's not waste our time, and we are going to move to our next speaker. I think Kartikeyan is there. Sir, are you there?
Yeah, I am in the call.
Okay, so I would like to invite Kartikeyan Sundararajan on the virtual platform. Well, he's going to share how we can secretly do a good delivery and our platform presence and what kind of a personality we should have for the public speaking. Over to you, Dr. Sundararajan.
Yeah, let me share my screen first.
Sure.
Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. First of all, let me thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to be part of this program. So let me not take much time because I will be keeping it a very crisp for this today evening. So the topic that is being given or which I chose is something based on the author's topic on delivering a good speech. So what is it? When it comes to public speaking, what is more important? Because everybody speak. If we see, we listen a lot of speeches, correct? But how people speak a lot and lot. But what is finally getting delivered and what the listeners get is something is very important. That gives the good delivery of the speech, correct? So we can make n number of speeches by giving a lot of things within a period of a time, within a given period of time. But it's not about how much we speak, what exactly we speak, and what must, and we should also know how it has to be spoken. So that is how we can able to deliver a good public speaking. So if we talk about, it's like what we have to speak, how much we have to speak, and how we have to speak. That is how wherein an individual speaker who are shaping themselves to be a great orator or a public speaker has to develop themselves as such. Today, what happens is a many speaker, they ignore their audience. The connectivity between the audience, wherein we can see it can miss, so that it is not a more conversational kind of a discussion which will be having it out. So the ignorance of the listeners becomes a big challenge, which has to be overruled in order to make a good public speaking. Okay. So when we talk about a good delivery of any kind of speaking, whether it can be a person can be in a corporate or a person can be from the academic or whoever it is making an speech or whatever the kind of a topic that they want to handle it out, they should be coming with a conversational tone which will enlarge the discussion between the listeners, correct? So it is not a science. Public speaking is not a science, it is an art. It will come only by practice. So whoever is intending to deliver a good speaking, they have to practice how to speak and what to speak. So that's becoming more important. So the author in this particular topic, he is recommending 4 golden rules. I can put it out, which has to be practiced. Only by practicing we can able to deliver good content. Because knowledge has equalness, the way in which the knowledge is getting cascaded becomes very important. So what they say is, what the author says in this book is stress on the important words. And so you have to rule out all the unimportant ones. Focus on the core content which has to be delivered by stressing on the important words that you want to deliver in the content, rather stressing on the unimportant segments or unimportant words, which is becoming the very important rule, we can say it out, that has to be practiced while preparing ourselves for any kind of a public speaking. Then we have to follow the way in which we are pitching the content that we are going to deliver it out. The voice need not be flat enough, correct? If it is flat enough, what happens? The listener gets drained out, or they are not. They are getting disengaged from the session or from the event. So the voice has to be followed the way in which the ups and downs of the pitch of the content that we are delivering, that has to be monitored by the person who is delivering the speech, correct? Likewise, we have to rate our speaking, the way in which we are running through the wordings, whatever it is. Like sometime if we see means a few speakers will be speaking very fast, correct? Wherein they will be spending more time in terms of the unimportant words, and they will be just rushing their talks, so that what happens is the listener, the audience, they are not getting connected to what is being delivered. So the person who's delivering any kind of a content or who's standing and facing the audience should see the way, the flow of a speech that they are delivering it out. Wherever they want to stress the content, they have to go in a slow phase, and wherever they feel that the few words are not important, they can rush it up. So that what happens is like you will be spending more time on what exactly that you want to try to say. Likewise, any kind of idea, we have to have a pause before and after, so that the perseverance of the audience is being getting triggered out. Whenever the conversation happens, whenever any kind of content has been delivered and any thought process has to be converted into an valuable outcomes, then we have to give a pause before and after any kind of idea that has been thrown out, so that we make the audience or the person who is listening to us to start thinking about those ideas. Otherwise, what will happen? Those ideas will be a vain, and which will not have any kind of benefit that the audience are going to get out of the program. So these are the 4 golden rules, Karen, that we have to be practicing, which the author is recommending through this book. Part of the good delivery, they also talk about the way in which we present ourselves, as well as the personality that we have to carry out, being a public speaker. So what the authors try to say is, it's not only the knowledge or the content that we are going to deliver, even the personality. So author goes one step ahead and says personality takes an edge over the knowledge. We can try to say like 50-50, correct? Knowledge and the personality or the presence, how we are look like. But here author says, let's go edge over when it comes to personality. So that's where it's becoming a very important. Equally, we should treat ourselves the way in which we are presenting. It's not only the content or the knowledge that we are going to. Generally, in a corporate, because I come from a corporate background, correct? They say like this. Any kind of a PPT, correct, it carries only 50% of weightage. A good PPT with a bad presenter will also kill the presentation. So a bad PPT with a good public speaker, correct, that session or the that kind of the connectedness with the audience will be a successful one. It's not about the knowledge or the way in which we develop the content. It's equal important the way in which we present ourselves. Okay. Then the author tried to say like, if you are tired, being a speaker, if you find yourself tired, let's don't go for any kind of a talk around it. You should have a good energy and a good atmosphere around it. Your aura should be very much positive, so that what happens, the content that you deliver gets connected with the audience, and that will be there. If you go with the dull energy, what happens is the enthusiastic that you are creating within the audience will not be in a positive vibes. So the audience will also not get connected to what we are trying to say. So that's the reason author says, whenever you find it tired, don't go for any or don't make any kind of a presentation, so that the audience are not get connected to it. Have a proper refreshment before making any kind of a presentation. The sense of dressing also takes an attraction. All depends on the environment wherein the speaker is going to deliver the content, correct? The way in which it is. If it is going to be a very high professional content like a TED talk or any kind of the forums, all depends on the dressing sense of based on the forums that the speaker is going to deliver the content. Then the speaker has to be with a smiling face enough, so that he welcomes the audience or the he welcomes the crowd, correct, in a positive manner, rather being so hard looking and not getting connected with the audience, becoming a pain for the speaker as well. So always be with a happy face, putting it, smile around your audience, so that the initial ice breaking between the audience and the speaker will happen, which will turn around as a conversational situation between both the parties, we can put it across. Next, the way in which the presence or something like personality, what the author talks about is pulling the crowd together. So it is something like if we have the crowd, we have to pull all the crowd. The attention of the crowd should be focusing on the speaker. Correct? Otherwise, what happens is the things are getting diluted. So over here, what it says is an individual has to be like something like get connected with the speaker, and the group also has to get synchronized with the speaker, so that wherever the laugh or the applause or the screaming has to happen, that has to happen all together. It is not like one segment in the group is clapping for something is being delivered by the speaker and another people are not getting attraction to it. So that's the reason becoming the pulling the crowd. Be center of excellence, attraction as such. So the speaker should attract the audience because every individual has their own capacity to listen. Every individual has their own ability to withhold the knowledge that is they are receiving, correct? So we have to be a center of attraction, so that all the audience in the group or in the forum has to be able to understand, by not using the jargons or the core technical aspects, wherein the layman of the audience might be a layman who might not be able to understand what we are trying to say. Like, if it is a very small group, wherein a person being a speaker and handling a very small group in a small room, likewise, the speaker need not be standing in the podium and giving the lecture or deliver the content. They can be a participative. They can walk around the audience, so that the audience are getting engaged and they are getting more connected with the speaker. That highly benefits the person, whoever is like, and that becomes a successful public speaking. That's how the author says, like, we should be a center of attraction and avoid diverting elements. So when we talk about diverting elements, it's like we might have experienced whenever we have given the any kind of a lectures or something, like it can be in classrooms or it can be in any kind of a public forum, correct? All might not be attentive. There might be something happens in and around within the auditorium or within the place we try to deliver the content. So some disturbances will be there, due to which what happens is the audience get diverted to those. The attention goes more focused towards the disturbance element rather than being focusing on the subject, correct? So that's the reason the environment wherever the any kind of a session or the public speaking happens, it should be ensured like the disturbing elements should be kept away, so that the audience are very well engaged with the lecture or the session that is getting delivered. Likewise, the speaker, whoever is standing in front of the audience, they should not be they should be very much visible, and they should be standing in front of the audience as such, rather standing behind the curtains or behind the mic podiums or something like, wherein the audience are not able to view the speaker completely. So that also the author says, like, it's a very drawback, has a drawback whenever the speaker is standing behind the curtain and making any kind of speeches, like, which will not be an highly engaged speaking element. So these are the few personality wherein a speaker has to carry out, so that the session or the content that is being delivered with the audience are getting connected, and the audience are highly engaged too, so that the session is being highly rated within a successful. So this is what I thought of sharing it out in today's evening session. this was my last slide, likewise. So once again, I thank the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity and making this a presentation.
Just unmute your mic, Bharati ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sundarajan. I must say that the information provided by you is cherry on the top. It's really very important to understand the aura, because that's how you are presenting yourself. Having a smile on our face, it's very important. And thank you for reminding us with that point. Yes, dressing is also very important, because that is how is your attitude and your personality shows. And the last, because that's how you're going to attract attract your audience. They wanted to see you more. And the last thing what you said is, I agree to it, that don't hide yourself behind the podium. If you're confident, you need not need to hide about, and be confident and speak and engage with your audience. It's very important points, I think, shared by him and with everyone today, who has taken the session. And it is really insightful for all of us. So over to you, Dr. Kumar Dutt, sir. Are we going to do something else after this, or are we going to have a session by tomorrow? Or am I going to conclude the session?
We want to conclude the session for today, and we'll meet tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the evening.
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you very much, Dr. Kumar Dutt, sir, for giving me an opportunity to become a moderator. Thank you very much for my beautiful speakers. They are really amazing. It's really a great reminder for all of us. And we are sure we are going to use all those points, in our public speaking. And since it's Saturday, I don't want to make you more late. So have a wonderful evening and a good weekend, and meet you tomorrow sharp at 7 o'clock. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
madam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you all.
With your permission, I am ending the meeting.
Sure, sir.